Welcome back to Odds of War. My name's Matt, and today we're doing a hobby tutorial video for you. So for my Thousand Suns Kill Team and Army, I've been doing these glowing blue bases, and I've gotten a good number of questions on how exactly, so I thought I'd show you. To start off with, I took some cork board that I got from a local store, ripped it up, glued it to the bases, and primed it black. I also embedded a couple magnets into some of them to mount my characters. Once the primer is dry, I take ceramite white and dry brush it onto the bases. Now, if I were going for a more realistic stonework look, I would start with gray and dry brush from there. But because I want these to glow, I'm going straight to white, as that'll provide a good base color for the glowing blue. Once the dry brush is complete, the next step is going to be to take the blue that I use and airbrush it on. I will be setting one aside, though, to be doing with a traditional brush, as I want to be able to show for you guys that don't happen to have airbrushes. So the paint I'm using is a Tester's blue gloss acrylic. I wouldn't normally use Tester's paint, but I got these as a Christmas gift from my mom. So, you know, I wanted to use them somehow, and basing seemed the right application. So after thinning down the paint and shooting it through the airbrush, testing it, just slowly work up the colors, focusing most of the blue on the actual base itself, and then doing a light blue spray on the white dry brushed parts. And the trick with everything airbrushing is just like with regular brushing, is multiple thin coats, so take your time, otherwise you'll end up with pooling and spiderwebbing and all that stuff. Once the blue is dry, without clearing the airbrush, I mix in white, once again from Tester's white gloss acrylic, and that's part of the trick to get a nice smooth blend with the airbrush, is not always clearing out your airbrush in between each step, because as you work through the colors, then you'll create a natural blend through that. So hitting it with this white-blue blend of paint just in the areas in which I wish to create the glow effect, or maybe sort of create the stream that of this like sorcerous power coming up through the bases. The last step is to then clear the brush and then shoot pure white through it, focusing once again on just the areas that I want the glow to be coming from. And with this step especially, I don't worry too much about overspray. So there you go, there's the three bases, airbrushed with the blue up to the white, and now we'll move in, we'll show what it looks like with a normal brush. So this is that same base I dry brushed the white earlier, and then now I'm taking that same blue Tester's acrylic and painting onto the base. For the glow effect on the stonework, instead of trying to do another blue dry brush on top, what I did is I just took my normal brush, and as it was out of paint, so to speak, then I would go and do a very light brushing across the white dry brush, sort of killing two birds in one stone. So instead of having to get two brushes, one for the regular work and then one for dry brushing, I just did that. Now you saw right there I had my airbrush back out. What I was doing was just spraying air through it to dry the base, but you could do that with a hair dryer, or you could just wait for the paint to dry naturally. So then once again, blending blue and white together just on my wet palette, making that mid-tone, brushing that on, and then finally going back over with then just pure white on the brush. Once again, focusing on where I want to create that glow effect, or that almost like a stream. So there you have it. That's what it looks like. Here's what it looks like next to the airbrushed ones, and I'll give you some close-up shots here in just a moment. This is my first time doing a hobby video like this and trying to film my process and, edit it and narrate it. So if you have any feedback for me, let me know what you thought, if you liked this, if it was helpful in some way. And you can use this same process for any color. It doesn't have to be blue. You could make a lava effect using reds, oranges, yellows, and whites, or any other sort of, different glow effect that you want. So I hope that helped, and if you liked this video, make sure to subscribe. You can hit the button that should be appearing in the screen here in just a moment. And if you want to see other hobby videos, you can check those out too here on Odds of War. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.